Hello, good people. Welcome to day 25 of our daily Python test. Today we're looking at thousand separator. That's what the challenge is called. So we're going to create a function named format number, and this function is going to take in a non-negative number, and we're going to add comma in between it to represent thousands and millions and so on. So first thing, let's create our function format number, and then it takes in a number. Now let's pre-format this number that's been passed in to make sure it's not a negative value. So first off, let's just change this to in number just so it's easier to work with. I like naming my variables properly. Please do that as well. So now this number is what we'll really be working with throughout our code. So first thing we want to do is we want to convert this to a string, because this number might be passed in as an integer, just as this example here. So let's convert it to a string. So we say in number converted into a string. Then they also said it's going to have to be a non-negative number. I won't want to depend on them to make sure it's always a non-negative value, so I would instead do that myself here. How will we do it? We'll say replace, and we're going to remove every minus that it has, and we'll just change it to an empty string. That means we just got rid of it. Now since that is done, we're going to create a loop that's going to loop through this number, whatever is passed in here, and count the index 1 2 3 and then put comma 1 2 3 and put comma. So that's what we're trying to do. Since we're doing this loop, it's going to be easy for us to just have an empty string. Let's say return num, and then we just have this empty string. Now this is what we're going to populate. After we checked 1 2 3, we populate it into here, put the comma, just like that. It's going to be building up until it's done, and then this is what we're going to be returning back to. We're going to be returning out of this function. So now let's do that. Now this is done, we should now write our loop. And now we're going to be using enumerate in our loop, our famous enumerate class. So let's just do that as one time. So we'll now say for first thing here is the index and then the number. That means if we have this, the index of this first one and then its number, that's what we're looking at. So we're going to say in enumerate, and then we're going to have to be looking at the reverse of this. Like, let's say, because when we're counting where to put our comma, we're always counting from the right to left, right? So we say 1 2 3, we put comma, 1 2 3, we put comma. So let's make this our loop also count from the reverse. That means count right to left. So we now say reversed, and then we pass in number. That means this number here after it has been pre-formatted. Now that all that's done, we now have to write a condition so that it will check if okay, wait, first off, now that we've done that, we have to write it so that it's going to check through all the number and then append them inside here, right? So first thing, we're going to say our return number. Okay, we'll say append or add our number into it. So what this is going to do is simply take on all the numbers that I can find here and put it inside here. But before it does that, we want to check if the number is if it's 3, can 1 2 3, and if it's 3 we put comma. So how do we do that? First off, we want to make sure it's not the first number it's looking at. Yes, like the index, the first index is looking at. So to do that, we'll say if index now is greater than 0, Then, and this is our index, because we can just write all of them together instead of having to break them into multiple if statements. So we say, and if our index can be divided by 3 without remainder. That's what this is. Index modulus 3 equals 0. So if our index divided by 3 gives us 0, that means it's either 3, 6, 9, whatever. Then we can now add in that our return number, what we're sending out, our final result, we would append comma to it. With this, I think we're done with our code. Okay, one last thing. Yeah, because this is going to be reversed. What the our return number is going to be reversed, meaning 000 comma 000 comma 1. It's supposed to be 1 comma 00, just like that. So now what we're going to do is, at the end of all of this, we'll say return num, but we're going to do this from range of, sorry, so we're looking at, this is also reversed. Instead of doing this, we can still do this and say reversed if we like, but I just wanted to use the two methods just so you see it. So this, now we can say it should arrange it from right to left again, meaning it's going to put it back the way it was before. So that's what this is. Now let us just run our code and see if we're correct. But first off, I think here we're supposed to, let's just call this function, although I don't think they'll allow us to say it so much. So let's just take this their example and see what the result turns out to be at the end of the day. If we're correct, it's going to tell us congratulations. So let's see it. Yep, we're correct. this was this was a little long, and it was really beautiful. This is the last challenge Python principal has for us. This is their last challenge here. So what do you say tomorrow? We're going to do a rundown of all the challenges we've done on Python principles, from the very first one in day one to today's challenge, and we're just going to breeze through them like some sort of summary, and I'm going to explain them all to you guys before we move on to the next platform we're going to be getting challenges from. So if you have questions, please drop them in the comment section below. Remember to drop a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you still haven't, and ring the notification bell icon so you don't miss tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be epic. So see you then. Bye.